Hello and welcome to Feedbackula, the show that delves into the exciting world of user feedback and builds up little cities of rage across the landscape. And speaking of cities... it's finally launched! And it was pretty broken! And now it's sort of less broken. Kind of. Yeah, SimCity, or Sim Suburbs, as some droll customers are calling it, has launched, celebrating the fact with a week of extreme turbulence, leaving many unable to connect and forcing EA to disable a number of game features in order to lessen the load on their servers. You know, the servers they force you to connect to, even if you want to play a single-player game in a private region. This inauspicious launch, coupled with the game's infrastructure, earned it a rather damning 5.0 from reviewer Kevin Van Ord, to which you reacted thusly.
Well, at least we know it's better than RE6.
We all knew it was going downhill when they mentioned DRM. EA, flopping more than a floppy flop in Flopland.
Well, at least they made Diablo 3 look good. That's quite an accomplishment, P.
Electronic farts?
Always connected ruins everything.
Just because I use the internet doesn't mean I want to play with everyone on it.
This is inexcusable. A wonderful classic game basically hoard out to monetary greed. This disgusts me. EA should be ashamed of this abomination and start issuing refunds pronto.
If this was called Sim Disaster, then I might like it for realism.
Given all the issues I'm hearing about this game, a 5.0 seems like a generous score for what EA have done. When will they ever learn?
EA should just stop what they're doing right now and make everything they made with a big online component burn to the ground!
Steady on, there's no need to go full on Marinus van der Lubbe just yet. So I think we can all agree SimCity was not the game launch we wanted to see. Many people feel the always online features are less about having the server constantly update your stats to improve your experience, and more about forcing social functions on players and trying to kick pirates square in the cannonballs. And you know what? They're kind of justified feeling that way, especially since modders have proven the game can work without having to be constantly connected. More on that later. In the meantime, we need to follow Feedbackula tradition and give some time to those rallying against the review, and more often than not the reviewers themselves, and their mothers. In this particular case, many of them rather bafflingly feel the game shouldn't be judged based on how it plays at launch, because patches are on the way.
Worst review ever. Kevin is usually perfect, but in this case, a couple of days of things going wrong doesn't mean we have a game with a 5 out of 10 rating. It means we had one for 3 days, not forever. I have played it since release and it is the best game I have ever played. Yes, there's a few bugs. When they're fixed, he will give a 9.5 out of 10 when he stops suffering from nerd rage. He should never review again after this abomination, letting his nerd rage take over.
A 5? Seriously? Yes, the launch is frustrating, but should not make it a 5 just because of the launch. It is already getting fixed and last night was playable. The game still should get an 8 at least.
This game does not deserve a 5 rating, partly because of server issues and map build size. Bit of a joke, really. I would give it an 8, possibly a near 9, my opinion.
Sometimes I hate GameSpot reviews because GameSpot don't know what are updates. This is the same as Sims. Totally unpolished in time of release, but after some dozens of updates later, everything will be fine.
Oh, after dozens of updates it'll be fine? That's good then. Sorry everybody, forget we gave it a rating that made you consider whether it's really worth dropping your hard-earned cash on a game with serious launch issues. What we meant to say was that after dozens of updates, it'll probably live up to the promises it made before coming out. Carry on!
Calling this game broken seems like terrorism!
Will this get a re-review after fixing all the bugs?
What the f***? Games should work when purchased! Reviews are not meant to placate developers, you know. God forbid anyone should give a low review score to a bad game. Get a life, sir!
Bad lunch, amazing game.
I'm sorry your lunch was not to your satisfaction. Did you have a bad sandwich? I hate it when that happens. I like nice lunch.
Wow, there are actually people defending a game that doesn't work. 10 years ago, if SimCity 4 had crashed straight out of the box, everyone would be infuriated and unforgiving. Have we really got to the point where we are willing to let the people we are buying products from jerk us around? If you go to the store, buy some bread, and when you get home, the baker comes in and tells you you can't make toast, you wouldn't be like, well, I can make toast later, right? You tell him to GTFO, and that is really what this industry needs. Less cattle, more buyers with balls.
Now that right there is an excellent point. Sin of Sinners also gets a billion bonus points for mentioning toast. Anyway, earlier on I mentioned some people have proven players don't necessarily have to be online at all times when playing SimCity. That's because a modder calling themselves UK Azza has posted a YouTube video showing a game with disconnection prompts disabled. Basically, UK Azza has found a way to partially get around the always online component, meaning you can play offline indefinitely and edit highways outside of the game's boundaries. It's not perfect, you have no access to the regional features for instance, and you have to log back in if you want to launch or save, but as a proof of concept it is very interesting. The point being it would have been quite straightforward to enable offline play for SimCity at launch.
Eat it, EA!
Are you telling me EA lied about everything? Tried to make you buy stuff twice and gave the SimCity fans the middle finger with crappy servers and bugs aplenty from day one so they could make more money? I'm shocked that people still waste their money on their products time and time again.
Yar, pirates will always pirate, no matter what. I doubt DRM will force them to buy the full-price game. The fact is, game companies just like to squeeze more out of their paying customers, that's all. Things like microtransactions and all.
Clearly no love for EA then, quelle surprise. Anyway, before we wrap up this episode, I wanted to focus on one comment in particular. Not because it's hilarious or particularly erudite or anything, it just segues nicely into me giving my 2 cents on the whole thing.
People are so dumb. It isn't like they were keeping it a secret on how it's always online. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I'm bored of people who buy it and then act surprised and moan about the game. We all knew it was going to have problems in its first week. These types of services always do. Yet people still buy it on day one and then claim their game sucks and you want a refund. Just wait a week before buying it. The servers are perfect now anyways.
I see what you mean, and you make an excellent point in saying EA were very upfront about the always online gubbins, but in saying these types of services always have problems kind of pinpoints the exact problem with SimCity, namely that it didn't need to be packaged as a service. The multiplayer aspect of cooperating with neighbouring cities and influencing other players in your region is very cool, no doubt about it, but it shouldn't be mandatory to the point of being detrimental to those who aren't interested in that type of gameplay. There are a lot of people out there who just want to play SimCity by themselves and offline. Forcing players to maintain an internet connection in order to force social features on them isn't a service, it's an inconvenience. What I'm saying is that there's a delicate balance between doing something to enhance the player experience and doing something to force interaction with some part of the game you want to succeed, whether or not it makes the game more fun for the player. In terms of public perception, I think EA have fallen foul of that line, but as for whether I think anything will change with regards to their business practices for SimCity, frankly I think that's doubtful. Anyway, that's almost it from me, just time for one last comment, this one coming in the form of the inevitable conspiracy nut.
Looks like Game Dollar Pot has stopped being paid by EA Games. About time. Maybe now they can become credible again.
Hyper Warlock, I can honestly assure you I have never been paid by EA Games. Or been credible for that matter. Just look at the way I'm closing this show. See? No integrity at all.